Hi all, Hipper here. So today we are taking out the tier 8 Roon, which is, a brand new ship. And a lot of you have asked me about this ship, and I'm sorry, it's a bit disappointing, I think. But first, don't forget to subscribe, primarily, and of course like, share and comment. Let's just look at my build here, although I will not recommend this build on Roon. I have tried every build in the book and I still haven't clicked with this ship here. But this is my Agile Lutyens build here, the same I use for Hipper, and I have great success on Hipper with this build here. Yeah, I can kind of disclose now that Roon is, there's no point putting this build on Roon, because this is a full Agile build, and this ship still doesn't feel very Agile to me. I keep thinking when I'm playing it, did I forget to put modules on? Because, I mean, it feels like there's no double rudder on it. And it's also very slow, or at least it feels slow. And you can see maneuverability 82 with a full Agile build. Not exactly amazing. The turning circle is larger than Hipper. The rudder shift is longer than Hipper. And the top speed is about the same. But the acceleration feels way slower than Hipper. The armor is 27mm, pretty much everywhere. Again, same as Hipper. And the guns are pretty much the same as Hipper. I can't really see any difference in, the raw damage output. Maybe they have slightly different ballistics, or, I don't know, penetration, or what do I know, but to me they seem pretty underwhelming, honestly. I still haven't found a way to play this ship in a way that I think it's good, because it can't really brawl. It only has one bank of torpedoes on each side, and that's not enough to take out a battleship. And two, it's just not agile enough. And you cannot, jump out from an island and fire torpedoes, because the acceleration is just pretty bad, actually. I'm not even sure a concealment build is the way to go with this thing here, because I put Azure Lane Graf Spee on it, and I got the concealment down to, the minimum it can be. But then again, I don't really see any point in doing that. So I still have to fiddle around with this ship here, and I'm pretty sure I'm not the only one who still needs to figure out what actually is the purpose of this ship. I mean, yeah, it has like 2/3 of its firepower in the back, meaning that in theory it should be a good kiter, but it's just not very agile, so I don't know how much I want to kite in this ship here. I mean, if I got the choice, I would probably try not to kite in it, to be honest. I mean, you can set up in a very nice position, just go stern in instead of bow in, but yeah, I don't know. I don't really get the ship. I'll have to be honest there. Of all the tier 8s, this was probably the ship I was looking forward to try, but I already had a suspicion that it probably wasn't going to be my kind of ship. Of course, that's a bit early to say that now. I haven't played it a lot, but so far, I'm a little bit disappointed in this Roon here. I mean, I would much rather pay Weimar, for example. I mean, at least it has the damage output, and yeah, don't get it. But it's not a bad ship at all. It's just not a ship that I want to waste time on with so many other good ships in the game. I mean, for example, I would rather spend my time on something like Tiger 59 instead of Roon, honestly. But it's a tech tree ship. It's available to everyone, and if it's your thing, which I cannot understand why it would be, because I think Hipper is way superior to this ship here. But yeah, up to you, of course. I don't particularly like it. And this battle here I chose because if you've heard me, I've been whinging about carrier players soloing me out in the last, probably the last week. And I was gonna do a few videos on this so you can see what I mean. So we'll start out with this Roon video here, because I mean, this is not, it's decent AA, but it's not like this ship's bread and butter. I don't actually know what this ship's bread and butter is, because it's like I said, a mystery to me. But in about a few minutes, the carrier will try to defend, I'm assuming, the destroyer in the middle of the map, and we're going to get a lot of planes shot down. So to be honest, with this Roon here, unless you have like a pre-determined plan for what you're going to use this ship here for and exactly the commander you want to use, I would research the other ships first if you are, you know, low on silver or time or whatever. Like I said, I think Hipper is superior. And I also think that the reload is very, very slow on this ship here. And I don't think it does enough damage. I mean, that was a very nice hit on that DD there, and we got pretty much nothing out of it. So it's also not a very good DD hunter. I think Hipper is much better again here. And yeah, 27mm armor. I mean, you can't really bow tank anything, really. So of course that goes for Hipper as well, but I don't know. Hipper just seems a stronger ship overall, and it's a tier lower, which is weird. And there's so many Hippers to choose from. There's Mines, there's the Hipper, there's Prince Eugen, and let's count Weimar as well, why not? So yeah, another German cruiser was probably not what we needed in the game, and not one that's as, like, I think Tactic Angel called it bland, which, yeah, I agree, it's kind of bland. I can't remember if that was Tactic actually, but someone called it bland, and I agree. It's a very bland ship. There's no spice to it, and there's no salt on it. There's no, yeah, there's no feeling in the ship here. So to me, it's a no-go. At least until it gets buffed, which I'm assuming it will, because I find it quite underwhelming actually. So like I said, this is an agile build, a full agile build on the ship here, and if you don't think it looks very agile, then I agree with you, because it certainly doesn't feel very agile. It feels like it's stuck in some sort of glue, and the acceleration is low, the turning is slow, the rudder shift is slow, and the turret rotation is slow, and the reload is slow. I think it's a second faster than Hipper, but I don't think that's enough for tier 8. I put it down to 8 or 7 seconds, that would be better. Yeah, it's just it's a bland ship in every possible way, and it also like has less torpedoes than Hipper. So yeah, I don't understand it. So the reason I picked this video is because it's kind of funny. We have a good dance with the CV here in the last 6 or 7 minutes of the battle. And I mean, that's always entertaining. I mean, sometimes you get focused from the minute you are spotted, because apparently the CV player has some sort of grudge against you. But that's not the case in this game. It doesn't really happen until now that I get all the attention of the carrier, because so far we only shot down 6 planes, so that's like fairly standard. But now we're down to 4 blue ships here, and there's a destroyer somewhere in this cap here, and he's holding that cap. So I am assuming that the carrier is not actually on purpose going for me. He's just trying to get me out of the cap and also defend his destroyer in the process. So if you look on the map, you can see the destroyer is obviously somewhere in the middle circle here. So that's why I'm just lurking around here, because I don't have my sonar ready. So pushing in, there's no point right now. And of course, the carrier takes the advantage of the fact that I am not really that aggressive at the moment, because like I say, I can't really unmask this destroyer anyway, so I might as well wait a minute and a half before I make my move. And this is where we start to rack up the kills on planes. And as you see here, I do get away with a little bit of an agile maneuver here, except I take a torpedo, and I really shouldn't have taken that torpedo. I wouldn't have taken that torpedo in Hipper. Because yeah, like I said, it's just so slow, and look how slow it is getting up to speed again. It's like I said, it's stuck in something sticky, this ship here. And well, if you watch this channel, I don't like ships that are stuck in glue. So the carrier is coming in for yet another run here, and of course I've headed into the middle ring of the cap here so I can hold it. I don't want the DD to take it. And apparently the DD got tired of waiting, so he left now. And that's pretty much where this game here is decided. Because the battleship is in here, I'm in here, and I got my clear sky there. And again, I managed to take a torpedo that I shouldn't have taken, because the ship is just so unmanageable, I think. So like I said, agile build is a waste on this ship here, because even with the full agile build, it feels like you have no rudder modules on the ship at all. It's a very peculiar ship, with a very peculiar setup, I think. So yeah, definitely not a favorite of mine. So we're at 22 planes now, and the carrier is coming in for yet another run, and I'm down to less than 7,000 hit points, so it's not going to take a lot to sink me, and that's probably why he's trying to finish me off here, so he can go and do something else. But I mean, the longer I last, the more time he pretty much wastes on this, and the further we'll get in capping this epicenter here. As you can see, I moved into the outer ring, so once I get hit, I don't reset the inner ring. So just keep that in mind, because there's no reason to add on to the time it takes in there. But I'm still trying to grab this outer ring, and of course the ring around it, but that's going to take forever, so that's not the primary objective here. We just want to get the 2 inner rings, and then we should be pretty much set, unless the destroyer, you know, totally wreaks havoc. But I already fired on him once, so he knows that I'm not someone to get close to. And the carrier comes again, and we are at 30 planes now. I'm trying to get on the other side of this island here to, you know, mess up his torp run, to make him have to attack me from the stern, which makes it a lot easier for me to dodge the torpedoes. Because obviously if he have to go all the way to my side, I'm going to shoot down the planes before he even makes it there. And he cannot attack from the side he wanted to, because I have the island there. So yeah, just a little bit of, you know, carrier avoidance techniques here. And of course that's better in an agile cruiser, but like I said, this is kind of a disappointing agile cruiser, which is a shame, because I mean, it has the layout, you know, the guns at the back, it would be perfect for kiting, and here we have the carrier. And he's not been the worst carrier that I've come across. I have some pretty good videos I'll put up as soon as I've gone through most of the ships in this update here. But of course it's always nice to get some payback on the carrier, especially when they focus you the way that I've been focused here in the last few minutes. But like I said, at least it hasn't been the whole battle. It's only been half the battle. And usually it's the whole battle, where you just get hounded by someone in a carrier who just wants you dead from the moment you're spotted. And that happens a lot. I don't know if it happens a lot to you guys, but to me it's a very, very frequent occurrence. So I just have to, you know, last as long as I possibly can in this carrier. The longer I last, well, the bigger our chance of winning. And unfortunately I don't get the kill shot on the Lexington here. I really wanted that, but not gonna happen. And as you can see, we are now at 45 planes. So that's a double clear sky medal here. And if you notice, the Buffalo, I think, got a Kraken on the red team. So obviously he's doing well, and I think he pretty much, yeah, he must have sunk every single one of our ships to get that Kraken. So good on him. Oh, I stand corrected. It wasn't a Kraken, it was a high caliber. Still, it's a pretty good game from the Buffalo there. But when you are 1 ship versus 4, there really isn't much you can do. And I'm just gonna finish up the capping in here, and then it should be pretty much game over. So yeah, I mean, Roon is not a bad ship. It's just not a ship that I'm going to spend any effort on, because unless it gets buffed, or there's like a commander that comes out especially for this ship that will tell me exactly what this ship is supposed to do, then maybe I'll pick it up again. But yeah, it's not something that yeah, I will probably play more than once or twice a month. Now that I have this ship, I might actually sell it even. Anyway, that was an agile Roon here, and we only got 1 medal. We should have had 2 clear skies. Anyway, hope you enjoyed it. See you out there.